Up, up, away in my beautiful balloon. Well, I can't sing, but the concept's right. Every now and then, you ever look off to the horizon and see a hot air balloon and wonder just what it takes to get up there, or maybe who's up there? Well, today at the Farm Science Review, we're meeting up with the folks of Touchstone Energy Co-op, and they've got their hot air balloon. Dave Champion's our pilot today, and Dave, welcome to Down the Road TV, and you just set the balloon up. How long does that take?
Well, it takes anywhere from 5 to 12 minutes to set it up, depending upon conditions and all that. But it's a pretty fast process compared to what you might think.
And a lot of people don't understand the process. Take us through this morning. Let's say we start off at 7 a.m. What do you start to look at to decide even if we can fly today?
Well, first I have to make sure that we don't have any thunderstorms within a 100-mile radius of our flying area. Then I look for winds. Winds can be light and variable, but we have to be less than 10 knots to be able to fly. So we're looking, excuse me just a second. We're looking for the weather conditions to be right, first of all. It's usually storms and winds that dictate that. This morning we've got a beautiful morning, sunshiny, clear of radar, and the winds are really light, so we should have a great flight.
Tell us about this colorful balloon. How big is it, and how much air does it hold?
It's a 77,000 cubic foot balloon. You can put a couple million light bulbs in it.
From the electric co-op, that's an important ratio.
That's right. And it stands 7 stories tall. It's rated for carrying pilot plus 2 people. So it's
going to be fun to do that. Tell me, how long have you been flying?
I've been flying since 2000.
We commented earlier on the burners. Compare that to our home barbecue grill.
Typical gas grill would have about 32,500 BTUs of heat, and these burners are 11 million each. So they produce a lot of heat. And it takes that kind of power to be able to heat the inside of such a vast envelope, 77,000 cubic feet, and keep it in the air.
It's a little warm below when you kick it on, but not that bad. But tell us about the rigging on the inside, because I guess I've seen several balloons from a distance, but never really thought about the control mechanism that is run up through the middle of the balloon.
It's pretty simple. We have a vent line that goes up to the top of the balloon, and I can pull on that and vent heat out of the top if I want to, or I can naturally let it cool. Either one of those will allow us to come down, use the burners to go up, or just light bursts to fly level.
Well, Dave's ready to go. Gil's behind the camera, and Gil and I have never been in a hot air balloon. So, Gil, no nervous shakes on the camera as we get ready to take off, okay? He's nodding, okay. That's what cameramen do. Never talk, but go from there. So we're going to take off, and we'll have some more as we fly throughout the area here in Madison County, Ohio. Dave, as we fly over Farm Science Review, roughly how high?
We're at about 1,000 feet right now.
1,000 feet. Of course, it's really easy to see all the test plots and things from up here and all the display. Lots of people coming into the parking area. Typically, what's the maximum height you fly?
Well, I've been up to 10,325, so typically most flights I'll fly about 2,000 feet, though.
It's a nice part about this. Easy up, easy down, couple hops when we hit the ground as we readjust our ballast. Now, comment, do we have GPS?
Yes, we have GPS unit. That tells us our positioning, our heading, and our ground speed.
A number of radios for control with the guys, I suppose, who have to eventually catch up with us to put all this back away.
That's right. Our chase crew, I've got a FM radio to talk back and forth with them. We stay in constant contact. And then I've got an aircraft radio that I can contact other aircraft or towers whenever I need to. I've got an altimeter and a variometer. The variometer tells me how fast I'm going up and down. Altimeter tells me what my altitude is. What
if somebody's watching today and says, I've never been up in a hot air balloon? Who can go? What kind of things do we need to know in order to schedule, if you would, a hot air balloon ride?
Well, probably if you don't know a hot air balloon pilot, the easiest way would be to go on the internet, enter hot air ballooning and the particular state you're in. For example, here in Ohio, just put hot air ballooning Ohio, and it should come up with hot air balloon pilots and balloon clubs that may be in your area. So,
can I ask a general ballpark? What should people expect to pay for, say, an hour ride?
Well, it can be a little different in different areas, but back home in Illinois, we charge $225 per person for approximately an hour ride.
Any other comments you'd have for people as they consider whether they ought to take a hot air balloon ride, or things that you might want to comment on as you've landed, unique places?
Well, yeah, when you're considering a hot air balloon ride, you should be in good physical condition. Sometimes when the winds are a little faster, it could be a little bumpy when you land, but your pilot should be able to control all that. But You should wear proper clothing. A lot of people want to wear jackets when they go up in a hot air balloon, but temperature only goes down about 1 degree for every 1,000 feet you go up, and most balloon flights are within a couple of thousand feet of the ground. So whatever the weather conditions are on the ground, that's about what they're going to be in the balloon flight as well. So it's really fun. People describe it as being serene. Yeah, it's very quiet. The basket doesn't move much at all in the air, and I'm hooked. I just love every flight.
Now, I guess being from an agriculture community, I've got to ask, do you have to get permission where do you land? Or, when you take off for an hour flight, you may have a pretty good idea where you're going to end up, but sometimes that might not be the case.
Well, I'm a farm boy, so I understand, crops and not doing crop damage. We do try to get permission before we land.
Now, we didn't get an opportunity to see livestock react to the balloon. How do livestock react when they see the balloon coming, or they really, for the most part, never know it's there?
Well, the burners do scare cattle and horses, so we try to stay at least 500 feet above them. And we do have a whisper burner that's a little quieter than the power burner, and we use that when we're going over livestock too. But dogs react to the balloon. They start barking early morning, wake people up when we fly over towns. But the large animals don't like it too much. But I've actually had cattle follow me, though. So
unique things that you can see and do with a hot air balloon. We've been visiting with Dave Champion, a pilot of the Touchstone Energy balloon here at the Farm Science Review. He resides out of Illinois and has a lot of fun floating around several parts of the country. Until next time, I'm Dale Minyo, and we'll see you down the road. Down the Road is brought to you in part by Prince Agra, makers of Omnigen AF, advancing animal nutrition for healthy animals, and Woodruff Enterprise of Springfield, Ohio.